The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 to Maria.
I'm really happy for you. I'm
Not the time, Kanye.
2025 to Maria Corina Machado.
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat. Surprising no one except Donald himself and maybe Eric, but that's a low bar. Donald Trump did not receive the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize. But you know what is surprising in all of this? I found myself agreeing with Candace Owens.
Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize, by the way, for the planned ethnic cleansing so that they could profit on the land.
What a topsy-turvy world we are living in. The Nobel Committee announced on Friday that the 2025 Peace Prize would be awarded to one of Donald Trump's least favorite things besides a blending sponge, a Spanish-speaking brown woman.
Maria Corina Machado. She is receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela.
It is very easy to see, Brian, why she was chosen by the Nobel Committee. This is a woman who has dedicated her life to her country, Venezuela, which is, of course, now suffered under an economic crisis, under what is widely seen as a dictatorship, under increasing repression. And she has faced off with those authorities both boldly, bravely, and unbowingly. Just to go over a little bit of who she is, she was elected a member of the National Assembly in 2011. She held that seat for nearly 3 years and was eventually stripped of that seat. She tried to run for presidential elections and was also removed from the ballot. About a year ago, she went into hiding, fearing for her life. We understand she remains in hiding. She recently did an interview with Elle magazine speaking of that experience, saying that she's barely seen the sun in months, but that she continues to fight for what she believes in.
And maybe Donnie will be happy about this because he seemed to be a big fan of Maria earlier this year, posting on Truth Social in January. Venezuelan democracy activist Maria Corina Machado and President-elect Gonzalez are peacefully expressing the voices and the will of the Venezuelan people. The great Venezuelan community in the United States overwhelmingly support a free Venezuela and strongly supported me. Ah, yes, because that's always the most important thing for Donald Trump, who supported him. Trump and his supporters have been unsuccessfully campaigning for him to receive the Peace Prize for years.
I should have gotten it 4 or 5 times. They won't give me a Nobel Peace Prize because they only give it to liberals.
He was even campaigning for it in 2020 when he was also campaigning for the presidency.
I don't say this out of ego, but I was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. With us, we've done so much. We have done so much on so many different fronts. Remember North Korea? Remember they were going to be at war with North Korea? Where's the war? Where's the war? And we have a good relationship with Kim Jong-un. Who knows what happens? All I know is we're not in war, and that's okay. They said, but he gave away so much. I said, I gave away nothing.
For a businessman and somebody who has told us at least 67 million times what a great deal maker he is, that was a terrible pitch. I have no idea what his accomplishments are. I bet Caroline can tell us.
The president has now ended conflicts between Thailand and Cambodia, Israel and Iran, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, India and Pakistan, Serbia and Kosovo, and Egypt and Ethiopia. It's well past time that President Trump was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
Quite an exhaustive list, but Caroline Leavitt is the opposite of an objective voice in this conversation. Luckily, the rest of the world has a much more objective viewpoint watching the U.S. circus from afar. I wonder what the French think.
The fact that Barack Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize is a narcissistic wound for Donald Trump. He wants to do not just as well, but better than him and say that he too has the prize and that Obama was ultimately a kind of parenthesis in American political life, and that he, Donald Trump, is the real president of the United States.
I love a good Trump burn on French news, but counterpoint here goes to the prime ministers of Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Trump deserved to have a Nobel Peace Prize, and we will defend that, and we will promote for that.
Can I have a suggestion?
Yes.
So maybe we agree with Prime Minister Pashinyan to send a joint appeal to Nobel Committee to award President Trump with the Nobel Peace Prize. As soon as we come back, we will agree to issue a joint letter, and hopefully, and I also join when President is awarded, we hope that he will invite us to the ceremony.
You certainly will be. Thank you very much.
Do we have draft to sign now?
Azerbaijan and Albania.
Not sure about the prize criteria when it comes to country pronunciation or knowing the difference between Albania and Armenia, but the chair of the Nobel Committee did make it quite clear that the recipient must have these two characteristics.
This committee sits in a room filled with the portraits of all laureates, and that room is filled with both courage and integrity. So we base only our decision on the work and the will of Alfred Nobel.
That's a big old DQ for Donnie. But Fox News remained hopeful, trying to soften the blow in their early Friday morning story for their Trump-supporting viewers. Don't worry, he could still be eligible next year. And amidst a peace deal being worked out between Gaza and Israel, Trump supporters have already started his Nobel campaign for next year.
What is your message to President Trump?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having the courage to do this. I have thanked God every single day that you are our president. You deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. In fact, I think that they should rename it the Donald J. Trump Peace Prize.
That's a bold take, and I really hope she is not celebrating too soon because it is quite early in the process. Counterpoint here goes to Candace Owens.
We will never forget this. You need to tell your children what happened in Gaza. You need to tell them exactly who did it, exactly whose families were involved in this. And when you hear in the future somebody tell you, like, we're going to Gaza Beach for a vacation, you need to look at them like they are the absolute vermin of our society, because they are. They are. Their children will be cursed, okay? Gaza belongs to nobody but the Palestinians. So when you begin to move the Israelis in there, and when the Trump Hotel gets built on there, I caution the rest of the world to stay far away. You can't commit that much evil in broad daylight and not think it's going to come back to haunt you.
Where am I? Did I black out for a second? Look, the ink is not even dry on this peace deal between Israel and Gaza. We are definitely going to have to keep an eye on that and an eye on Trump's campaign to receive the Peace Prize for 2026. But for the Palestinian people and the Israeli people, prizes and accolades and headlines are the least of their concerns. They desperately need peace. Regardless of religion or political bullshit or egomaniacs like Donald Trump, they are human beings who never asked to be political pawns. They never asked to be bullet points in a prize nomination letter. They have suffered immensely and are beyond deserving of a peaceful life where they get to grow old and watch their children grow up to be healthy adults who are empowered to forge a new peaceful tomorrow for their people. Make sure you keep this conversation going. Share this video with someone in your life, and be sure to subscribe to Really American so you can keep coming back for community, commiseration, and some good old comedy, because my colleagues, they are funny as hell. For Really American Media, I am Corinne Straight. Thanks so much for watching. I will see y'all next time.